This one is the most unexpected. The feds are jubilating for a work made easy after a resurfaced video shows Yella Beezy wholeheartedly admitting the murder. Yella Beezy had no clue that the camera was already rolling. He spilled all the beans, and from the look of things, the feds will soon be closing in on Go Yayo and Trap Boy Freddy. Let's get straight into the events of the day. Yella Beezy admits to killing mo3. In the most unexpected turn of events in the Dallas rap scene, Yella Beezy was arrested on a capital murder charge in the murder of rapper mo3. Although most fans did not know that Yella was a person of interest in the case, a resurfaced video allegedly gave him out. Within a split second, word got out that Beezy once admitted to the murder on camera. But did that really happen? Well, the rumor about him admitting to the murder on camera started right after his arrest when fans dug out an old interview of Yella explaining how hits are carried out in Dallas. After mo3 was killed, rapper Boozy Badass was shot in the leg in Dallas, near the Big T Plaza Street Mall in Oak Cliff, Yella Beezy's hood. All eyes were on Yella Beezy for answers, mainly because Boozy was talking about running Dallas before the shooting. Then, in a shocking turn of events, Yella Beezy spoke about the incident. He claimed that when it comes to his hood, he need not call the shots. His homies always handle business for him.
Bro, I don't gotta do nothing or call no shot. Like, bro, that was business. Like, you get what I'm saying? Nigga, you not from here. You not finna come over here thinking you finna run something. So that's what the situation was, like, trying to come over here. I ain't have to do nothing or say nothing. Like,
fans quickly got the message. One commented, "You might have clout in your city, but going to someone else's hood and doing all that tough talk is definitely how you get clipped." However, other people think Yella Beezy was also trying to explain how he dropped mo3. But was that really what happened? Well, here's what I know. The indictment and arrest warrant alleges that Yella Beezy did not chase down and kill mo3 by himself. Instead, he hired and paid a hitman for the operation, murder for hire. Now, that's quite similar to what Yella was explaining about Boozy's hit. Although authorities are tight-lipped about why they believe Yella Beezy hired someone to kill mo3, the streets are already in the loop. In court during his bond hearing, prosecutors played the ugly footage showing how mo3 was chased down and killed on the highway. Prosecutors accused Yella of masterminding the operation in which one person was killed. He was charged with capital murder, which means that if convicted, Yella Beezy is facing life in prison or the death penalty. Fans are still wondering how authorities connected Yella Beezy to the murder of mo3 after 5 years. Well, I'm not surprised because authorities already have 2 people in custody for the murder. They are probably talking. Now, if you remember, barely a month after mo3's death, Dallas police arrested 21-year-old Q White in connection to the murder. Q White pleaded not guilty for the murder charge, but was taken into custody for possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. He is currently serving 9 years for the gun charge. Here is where it gets interesting. The investigation revealed that Q White was connected with Yella Beezy, but at the time, Yella Beezy was not a person of interest in the case. Then 5 months after the shooting, another suspect was arrested. In April 2021, Devin Maurice Brown was also indicted and arrested for the shooting death of mo3. According to investigators, on the day of the shooting, Maurice Brown contacted several witnesses, asking them about mo3's whereabouts. The police revealed that Maurice Brown's cell phone showed multiple contacts with Q White a day before the shooting and the day after. However, Q denied ever knowing Maurice Brown or associating with him in a murder plot. Despite the denials, the authorities knew there was more to the case than meets the eye. It's no surprise that 4 years after the last arrests, Yella Beezy's name popped up. A fan noted that he should have known this was coming. What I don't get is a white boy from UK, a Trap Ross, can put 2 and 2 together, but think the feds can. Following Yella's arrest, most fans reaffirmed their trust in the justice system as one Reddit user predicted the next arrest in the case. Yeah, Fetty probably next. It's no surprise that fans were buzzing the internet in rage after a judge reduced Yella Beezy's bond from $2 million down to $750,000. Now, Yella Beezy is reportedly out on a $750,000 bond and fans are not having it. On Twitter, one user voiced out, "Yeah, typical judge lets this punk impeach the judge, hell impeach Beezy's ugly grandma too." However, the judge did not let him out without some strict conditions. According to Billboard, Yella's bond conditions include house arrest with an ankle monitor, random drug and alcohol testing, and giving up his passport. He is also barred from possessing firearms, contacting any witness, victim, and or any person of interest in the case. Lastly, he must seek written permission from the court to travel outside of Dallas. While still very early in the investigation, Redditors have launched their own online investigation. Fans believe that content creator TLR previously hinted that Yella Beezy was involved in mo3's death. The Reddit community believes that most of these arrests in the rap industry are possible because YouTubers help the feds connect the dots and indict individuals after pulling a hit. One pointed out that he liked TLR content, but he's so federal. I think he helps the police narrow their investigations, pressures them to indict. It's happened with O-Block, Thugger, and now mo3, and would have happened within months if Vaughn didn't die. Well, while that might be true, something else is also true. The beef that ended with mo3's death was fought within a circle of old friends who became enemies. This simplifies the case for the feds, where to look and who to look. This leads us to the big question. What ultimately led to mo3's death? Friends turned enemies. When it comes to the beef between mo3 and Yella Beezy, it is important to note that there are a few neutral people who contributed to the escalation of the altercation between the two friends. First, Sean Cotton of Say Cheese TV, who gave the platform for most Dallas rappers to tell their stories. He was often referred to as the DJ Vlad of Dallas. Sean Cotton played an important role because he grew up with the likes of mo3, Freddie, and Yella Beezy. Sean Cotton explained that after interviewing one person, the other person would request an interview to tell their own part of the story. Unfortunately, it seems Sean Cotton's attempt to fix the spotlight on the rising rappers of his city might have created envy between friends and ultimately severed long-term alliances. Sean Cotton might have opened the floodgates of envy when he started asking Texas rappers to name the top 5 rappers in their area. Word on the street is that the beef between mo3, Yella Beezy, Freddie, and Go Yayo started when the rappers started tasting mainstream success. On Vlad's TV, Go Yayo revealed that the beef was fueled by jealousy.
I'm going to school, we used to be real close to where real beef now just because you still stuck in the one situation, but I'm in the same city, but I'm living like this, and I'm doing this.
Again, earlier interviews with Yella Beezy showed that Yella was very cool with mo3 at the time. When Sean Cotton asked him to rate his top 5 rappers in Dallas, he mentioned his name and included mo3 in his list.
I want to hear Yella Beezy's top 5 in the city right now.
Freddie, Yay. You said DLW or just DLW? Lil Yayo, mo3.
Without a doubt, at this time, Yella Beezy still had lost respect for his friends, but fame comes with its own troubles. As the game rolled on in Yella's favor, he saw himself as the top among his peers and began to claim control of the city. Yella would be seen in many videos demanding respect from the hood and claiming he runs the streets. That's about the same time Yella released Going Through Some Thing, in which he sent out shots at mo3 for being jealous of his success. And some were closest acting like women. What's up with this? I don't know. Nothing. The music video sold almost 50 million views on YouTube, and Yella kept bagging successes. But so was mo3. His music was selling, and his name was becoming the talk of the nation. He collaborated with Beezy Badass and even got a major record deal with Epic Records. mo3 and Yella Beezy were fighting for the position of the king of Dallas, as it was with Young Dolph and Yo Gotti in Memphis, so it was with Yella and mo3. By this time, tension was already building between the two rappers, as mo3 told Sean Cotton 8 years ago that he and Yella had a misunderstanding.
We had a misunderstanding, miscommunication. A lot of times, he says, I said some.
mo3 explained that he and Yella were able to squash the beef quite early, and they became cool again. However, the peace treaty was short-lived, as shortly after signing the record deal with Epic Records, a tragedy struck that would change the course of mo3's career a great deal. The devastating events unfolded on May 27, 2017, when mo3 was performing in a concert at Club Phantom in Fort Worth. Right in the middle of the party, gunfire erupted, and everyone ducked for cover. Unfortunately, one man by the name of Hector Wilkins caught a bullet and died. Then the morning after, investigators revealed that the shooting was gang-related, making the matter worse for mo3 because he would be arrested in an early morning raid in his home. mo3 later told Cam Capone that he wasn't expecting the U.S. Marshals in his home. He was just having a good time with his young son when the raid happened.
I heard a knock at the door. I mean, it was just me and my son. I was in my condo. I heard beating at the door. Boom. Boom. I'm not even thinking about Marshals.
mo3 explained that he was taken into custody by the marshals and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His bond was set at $100,000. In an over-the-phone interview with Say Cheese TV, mo3 revealed that he was facing 30 years if convicted. But he also bragged about how the marshals let him drive himself to jail and was greeted in jail like Tupac Shakur. mo3 told Sean Cotton that he spent thousands of dollars on lawyer fees, which eventually ran him broke. He later revealed to Vlad the unfortunate aftermath of the club shooting in his career. He claimed that the music business went drastically low, and promoters were not calling for performances and stuff like that. On top of that, Epic Records pulled out from the deal they signed with him. Following his split from Epic Records, mo3 released a new jam, True Story, and in the video, mo3 was prophetic. He was dead in a morgue while the attendant told someone over the phone that mo3 was shot and killed in his own city. He addressed the club shooting, saying it was a setup, and he took the fall for it. Although mo3 did not reveal the full story, fans connected the dots, and Go Yayo's popped up. Considering that Go Yayo hails from Fort Worth, rumor has it that Yayo and mo3 were throwing gang signs and opposing each other in the club that day. While the tension was getting heated, Dallas comedian Roy Lee, a close associate of mo3, would find his place in the beat. When asked to comment on the mo3 and Go Yayo nightclub situation, Roy Lee made bragging allegations. He claimed that mo3 was up against the whole of Fort Worth and Dallas put together. He said that mo3 needs the police to keep himself at that time of his career. Although just a comedian, it was unfortunate that Roy Lee's comments were not taken for a joke. He got entangled in the middle of the Dallas gang war. Roy Lee inherited mo3's enemies and continued to send shots at Yella Beezy and Go Yayo. He even sneak dissed Yella Beezy, saying that Yella claimed to run the city only to be robbed in the same city. He claimed that Yella was robbed in the hood because he doesn't hail from the hood. Unfortunately, after the interview, a fight broke out between Yella and Roy Lee at the King of Diamonds nightclub. Lee later revealed on his Instagram that he was jumped by Yella Beezy and his crew in the club because of the interview. Lee claimed that he wasn't lying in the interview, and if Yella would accept, he wants a one-on-one fight with Yella Beezy to squash things out.
I ain't talking to them, talking to you. Y'all want a one-on-one with you. We ain't talking about them. Tell them behind you to chill, man. Tell them to chill.
Roy Lee claimed he only needed 4 people with him, and Yella could come with 100 people like he always did. Tensions were high, and tragedy was about to strike. Lee kept on dissing Beezy and requesting a fight. He said that if Beezy doesn't fight him one-on-one, then Beezy is not really a Crip. It turned out that Beezy could not stomach the disrespect, but he had mentioned in an interview that mo3 tried to squash the beef with him because tension was becoming unbearable. However, while mo3 was still fighting his case and trying to regain his ground in the industry, Trap Boy Freddy would team with Yella Beezy and Go Yayo on his biggest track, Pick 6. Most fans believe that mo3's being left out of the jam escalated the tension, but mo3 later told Sean Cotton that he didn't care about the jam. Then, in a shocking turn of events, Roy Lee revealed in his social media that he was involved in a shooting where he caught a bullet in the leg. According to a news report, Roy Lee was wounded in the shooting incident at about 7:50 p.m. September 28th while sitting in the parking lot of Preston Valley Shopping Center. Lee was rushed to the hospital and appeared to be recovering from his injury, but he later died tragically from blood clotting in his heart. To be honest, most people blame Beezy for Lee's death. In an interview with Say Cheese TV, Freddie tried to blame the murder on mo3, but ended up blaming Lee for running his mouth over rappers' beef.
Roy Lee did all this, and like Roy Lee wanted to do that was going on, whatever he had going against Yella because of what's going on with his partner. So as a man or I'm just human, he should just mind his business.
The entire city mourned Lee's death, and mo3 paid his tribute with a new Roy Lee-inspired chain. The police launched an investigation into the murder of Lee, but the street appeared to have handled the business. Barely a week after Roy Lee died, Yella Beezy was the target of a shooting that nearly ended his life. Yella was shot 8 times, and his recovery can only be described as a miracle. Beezy's hit came shortly after the internet was buzzing with threats at Beezy for allegedly killing Roy Lee. According to news reports, Yella Beezy was driving along the Sam Rayburn Tollway when another vehicle pulled up on him and fired multiple shots. According to the police, over a dozen shell casings were recovered, and Yella was shot 3 times. Yella Beezy later revealed in interviews that he was caught slipping after leaving a nightclub. He explained that he jumped over to the passenger side while trying to find his gun, which led to his car crashing. Ultimately, Yella pinned the hit on rappers like mo3, who can't stomach his success and the way things are moving for him. Yella also said that he did not start the beef, but he was going to finish.
100 times out of 100, they start it. Nah, you don't start nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I be the one finish it. You get what I'm saying? Like, we take stuff to a whole nother different level. You get what I'm saying? So
I guess Beezy actually took stuff to another level. However, mo3 told Vlad that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He claimed that rappers get hit up every day and he would rather be out of the way.
When Yella Beezy got shot up, what were your thoughts about that?
mo3 claimed he had no beef with Yella, Freddie, or Go Yayo. He maintained his innocence. But shortly after the hit, mo3 would go on to release one of the most disrespectful diss tracks in the Dallas rap beat. In the track, Word Around Town, he says, "Word around town that somebody got found slumped over in the car behind